Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this video breakdown, we're going to take a look at a blitz out of the nickel double A gap. The name of the defense is called Rush 3 Buzz. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the plays that we're going to use. I just mentioned we're going to use the Rush 3 Buzz. You'll find this out of the Dallas Cowboys playbook. And then on the offensive side of the ball, if you're following along, go ahead and take a look at this one. It's called the gun doubles offset curl combo. So if you're following along, those are the two plays that we're using. So let's go ahead and get on the field here. And what I want to do with this breakdown is I want to continue on the series that I've been showing with the 12th defender. And that's with the back of the end zone as far as helping you out as far as with your pass rush and blitzes that you might be wanting to run this year in this year's game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and respot that ball and go ahead and just move it down. Now, I mentioned earlier, anything inside the 12-yard line is probably best when you can run some of these blitzes I'm about to show. But keep in mind, you can run these outside of that 12-yard threshold. And also, I also mentioned that, when it gets inside the 20, it's the red zone. Well, something else I want to point out to you guys, when the ball gets inside the 10-yard line, such as what I'm showing in here, then this becomes the crucial zone, not the red zone. They actually added this, that's another name for this, and what's called crucial zone. And anything inside the 10-yard line of if you're defending it, anything inside that 10-yard line is considered crucial because that's when the offensive line is about to score. Not offensive line, the offense is about to score. And so that's when I think that you can definitely run some of these blitzes that I'm showing and use that 12th defender, especially if, 12 yards in, certainly. And when you get inside the 10, that's when it becomes crucial. So at any rate, let's go ahead and show you the blitz here in just a second. Before we do that, let's just show you the defense real quick as far as the coverages so you understand it real quick. And with this particular defense, you're going to have three defenders playing deep coverage. So as you look at it, those are your three defenders. You're going to have the two corners and the free safety. And then you're going to have a couple defenders that are playing defense underneath. Now, the one I really want to highlight here is going to be this guy right here. I believe it's DeMarcus Lawrence. He's going to be dropping back into a seam flat. And if you guys want to, I'm not going to go through all that as far as moving him around, but a lot of times you might want to go ahead and move him over here because he's the one that's going to get the pressure on the quarterback. But that's up to you. But for the breakdown, just know if you want to, you can move him over to the right end spot on your depth chart if you want to. For now, we're just going to let him just go ahead and drop him back into the seam flat like he's supposed to. All right. Now, keep in mind, one of the things that I like to do here is with this setup is to go ahead and take control of this guy right here. Now, he's going to be the hook zone defender. Now, what you can do here is you can do this a couple different ways. You can bring him up, or you can go ahead and use the show blitz. Now, if you use the show blitz, it's just going to go ahead and bring him up in this area here. You might consider taking control of him and just moving him into this area here. So that way he takes away that, if you look at his thing, he's supposed to be dropping back in the hook in the middle over in this area here. And then the other thing is you want to do is you want to go ahead and take control of this safety right here. And he's going to be the free safety. Now, he's supposed to be dropping back in that deep zone area, but since we're so close to the end zone, I really don't care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put him in a blitz. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in a blitz. A lot of times with him, I'll set him behind the linebacker, which in this case is going to be this linebacker right here. I'll just put him right behind it, and I'll go ahead and blitz him. Now, make sure when you blitz him, make sure he's 4 yards or closer to the line of scrimmage. Here, if you look at it, he's about 3 to 4 yards, probably about the 3-yard mark as far as that, and I stacked him basically behind that linebacker. And the reason for that is as long as you're within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage, then he's going to be considered the bigger threat than this defender right here, which is the one that we're going to get pressure off of, which is going to be this right end. So he becomes a bigger threat as long as he's within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. So therefore, what's going to happen here is we look at when we do this blitz, you're going to find that this left tackle is going to look to block to the inside, and he's going to look to block the weak side defensive tackle. So let's go ahead and run this. And the other thing is, let's just go ahead and run it, and then I'll talk about some more stuff you can do with this defense. So let's just go ahead and run it. All right, you can clearly see we get the pressure off the edge right there. Now, the downside of that is we only got one guy dropping back with this particular blitz. We only got one guy dropping over the short middle of the field, and that's going to be that strong safety as you look at your screen there. And then if you look at it, you can see that the tight end is clearly open. even with this defense I'm talking about, because this guy here, for some reason, wants to go over here when I really want him to go in this area here. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to show you some things you can do to counter that. First off, you can drop this guy, as I talked about earlier. You can go ahead and show the fake blitz. And then if you want, you can go ahead and put him in a, maybe go ahead, not at that, but go ahead and put him in a hook curl. And then I guess it really doesn't change up all that much, but at least he's in this area here. You're in control of him. You can put him there if you want, but you definitely want to take control of this guy and then go ahead and blitz him again. And this time we're going to stay in control of him. This is going to help take away that right there, that potential right there. We're going to do that right here. Now, again, if you put that guy in the hook curl as far as that strong safety, he may go all the way over there, but that's not something we really want either, is it? But anyway, you can go ahead and do this. Move him in here and just drop him down in this area here. And then take control of this guy right here, which is the free safety. Go ahead and blitz him, and then you're just going to stay in control of him because you got to take away that short middle pass. You can't allow that to be in there. And then you can just sit on it like this in that area there. The other thing you can do is go ahead and drop your you can go into the coverages here. Let's get out of this for a second. Go into the coverage adjustments and then try to go ahead and drop that that safety into a further deeper back if you want. So let's go ahead and do that in the coaching adjustments. Rather or not, it always works. Who knows on this, but you can definitely go ahead and put him back. We're going to drop him back 15, which is basically going to put him into the back of the end zone there, more or less. So let's go back in here again. At least it should in theory. Rather or not, we'll see what he does here. But let's go ahead and run the rush three buzz out of the double A gap, and then we'll go here back into the offensive play, and we're going to run that same play. I just showed the curl combo. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're just going to go ahead and bring him up. Again, this is the hook zone defender. So basically, when we show him something like this, when you show your opponent something like this, you're really saying, hey, don't run the ball. You're forcing them to pass because you got so many guys in the box. I mean, when you really look at this, look at all the defenders that we've got in the box as we look at the screen here, as we count them up here. That's 8 defenders. They're probably not going to run the ball. And that's the good thing about here, because you're basically telling him, hey, throw that ball. I'm daring you to throw it, and you're hoping that he makes an interception. One of the things that I've always told my players is one of 3 things can happen when you blitz or when you throw the ball on the offensive side of the ball. You can either have a completion, an incompletion, or you can have a pick, or possibly, I guess, the 4th thing or turnover would be the 3rd thing. So it could be a pick or a fumble. And so anytime you're forcing your opponent to throw the ball, which is what we're doing here, we're telling them throw it. We have 2 of the 3 things that are going to work in our favor. It could be an incompletion or it could be a turnover. They only have one good thing. They got a 33% chance of having a completion if you look at percentages. So that's what we're doing here. We're forcing our opponent to throw the ball here. So let's go ahead and run it again. And same thing. And we're just going to take that away right there. If you look at it, there's no way they're going to get it to that tight end. And if you go back out here on your screen, everything else is pretty much covered for the most part. They might be able to throw to the outside, maybe hit one of those curls. Now, keep in mind, this is just one example. I mean, they could run slants, drags, all kinds of different things they might run. But we're just showing you some things that could happen. Now, your opponent could throw over here, possibly to one of these guys, but hopefully your defenders will be able to get over there and take that away where they won't be able to complete that pass as far as with the play. Excuse me, I'm going to take a little drink real quick here. And so right there, you can see how that looks on your screen right there as far as with the defense and stuff like that. So at any rate, let's go ahead and do one last thing here because I want to show you one other thing. Let's go ahead and put the tight end. Let's just go ahead and put that tight end on a streak. And let's watch that. I want you guys to go ahead and watch that safety right there. The one that I'm not in control of, but this one right here, which is that guy there. I'm actually going to go ahead and take control. I'm going to go ahead and move him into this area here. Then I'm going to go ahead and take control of this free safety. Go ahead and do the same thing I did earlier. Put him on a blitz. And then I just want to show you what will happen here. He's going to take that away. They're not going to be able to make that throw over the top there again because you got the 12th defender with the back of the end zone, and then you got these guys playing underneath, the 2 guys that I talked about earlier, which is the 2 safeties. Let's go ahead and look at this again. And then you get that pressure off the edge. the tight end, if your opponent tries to, maybe he might try this and try to drop this in over the top, but I'll tell you what, I'll take my chances that safety's probably going to pick that off. I mean, more than likely he's going to end up picking that pass off. And again, with me, because I'm in control of this guy, I'm not rushing. I could drop him back too as well and take that away. So everything's pretty well defended here as far as with the blitz here. Didn't actually come in on that one, but you can see that it's definitely there for the most part. Most of the time it's going to be there for you. So let's go and do this one more time. Go ahead and bring him down. We'll take control of this guy here, and then we're just going to go ahead and go with this. I do want to show one last thing I was just thinking about as I was running this. So let's go ahead and run this real quick and then drop this guy back. And there's no way they're going to get that in there. One other thing you can do if you want, now make sure if you do this, that this guy, as I remember earlier, I've been manually controlling him. You can go ahead and put him yourself as long as he's 4 yards. Now you can go ahead and release him. As long as he's 4 yards, he's going to go ahead and bring the pressure on the quarterback. Now, keep in mind, if you do that, you're not going to be able to control him anymore. Now you'll have to control this guy right here. Now, you can actually control this guy if you want, and you're still going to get the pressure off the edge, but now you're not in control of that safety anymore. Now, if you do that, you're going to only have one defender dropping back over the middle, over the short middle of the field, and that's the downside of that. So that's a couple things you can do with this defense as far as bringing pressure on a quarterback. So I can't tell you this is a defense that that you're going to want to run outside of the crucial zone or the red zone, but it's something you can definitely run if you're trying to get a pick and your opponent is threatening to score. You can definitely take a look at running this particular defense. And like I said, as I've said before, all these defenses I'm showing, you can definitely run outside of, as we just mentioned just a second ago, you can certainly run them outside of the crucial zone or the red zone area. Just realize there's a good chance that you're going to be burnt deep, and you're going to take your chances on that. So just keep that in mind as you run these. So again, this particular defense is called the nickel double A gap nickel double A gap rush 3 buzz. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.